Nicholas Walls, and this is History in 5. And today we'll be discussing the great powers of the First World War. The great powers is a bit of a catch-all term for the strongest and most influential nation-states of the First World War. Many of the names will be unfamiliar to viewers, as several of them disappeared and ceased to exist by the end of the Great War. Nearly all of them were European, nearly all of them were nationalistic, and all of them wanted to be top dog on the world stage. There was no set metric for what constituted a great power. You either were or you weren't, and rather like any exclusive club, the great powers themselves tended to judge who made the cut. Each nation had their own reasons for entering the war, and there were two primary military alliances during the First World War. These were the Triple Entente, initially consisting of France, Great Britain, and Russia, and the Central Powers, which initially consisted of Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. However, both of these would expand, and Italy would jump ship very early. So we'll be going over the member states briefly and their reasons for entering the war. We'll start with the Triple Entente. Later known as the Allies, they expanded beyond 3 members. The 3 core constituents were Russia, Great Britain, and France. The largest of these 3 member states was Russia. It was the biggest and baddest and a sleeping bear. Unfortunately, it was also antiquated, calcified in its leadership, and woefully unprepared for a modern industrialized war. Tsar Nicholas, on his mighty throne, had tried to halt the industrializing forces in his country as they seriously threatened his rule, with socialist uprising threatening to tear down the ancient system. Russia wanted to get in the war to make amends for its horrifying loss in the Russo-Japanese War and prove that the Tsardom was still strong. Moving along, we have France, the third republic thereof, because the first 2 were just daft. France was still reeling from its losses to Germany in the Franco-Prussian War, and was injured in national pride and eager to reclaim lost land on the borders of Alsace-Lorraine. Meanwhile, we have England up here, enjoying a period of splendid isolation from continental affairs of Europe since the 1800s. However, they were overtaken as the powerhouse of Europe by an industrialized Germany, and they were even threatened on the waves by the Kaiser's fleet. Desperate to hold on to their mercantile empire, they jumped in and allied with both France and Russia to stop a Mitteleuropa dominated by Germany from happening. And then we have Italy. Initially a central power, divided and fractured at home, it jumped ship quickly to the Allies because all it really wanted was to snatch up territory and colonies over here in the Mediterranean area. The Allies seemed the best bet to reclaim the glory of Rome. In the Far East, not visible on this poor map, we have Japan. Recently industrialized, recently modernized, and eager to be as bad as the Western powers, it joined in to help the Allies to snag German colonies in the East and to, well, push China around and create its own sphere of colonies in the Far Eastern territories. Lastly, to the west, balancing out Japan, we have the Johnny-come-lately to the war, the United States of America. Initially neutral, because in no small part to the amount of German-American immigrants, the sinking of the boat Lusitania prompted the U.S. to join the war on the side of the Allies, after selling weapons to both sides comfortably. To the east, we have Austria-Hungary, an ancient empire and also German-speaking. However, its multi-ethnic tensions were bringing it to its knees, due in no small part to little Serbia. Newly independent and swole up on victory, Serbia sponsored several freedom fighters, aka terrorists, for a pan-Slavic unity, many of these in the Austro-Hungarian territories. Austria-Hungary clamored for war, desperate to punish Serbia and reassert its dominance over its many ethnic populations. We also have the Ottoman Empire, another aging and calcified state. It had been steadily losing ground for 200 years from its heyday in the medieval period. The Ottomans, once holding all of the Balkan territories, were eager to reclaim and punish Serbia, which would become a trend among Central Powers. Sadly, the Ottomans did not initially desire war, but as the Allies all had interest in the region, no one was willing to make a deal. So they turned to the Central Powers in Germany to try and achieve their ends. Finally, trailing dead last in terms of power and size, we have Bulgaria. Gaining its independence in the same Balkan Wars as Serbia, and once an ally thereof, it bitterly resented Serbia for its defeat in the Second Balkan War, and allied with its former enemy and overseer, the Ottoman Empire, to punish Serbia. Sadly, all these alliances resembled high school cliques with far more bloodshed. Over the ensuing videos, we'll discuss in detail how each of them entered the war and the factors that led up to it. I'm Nicholas Walls. This has been History in 5. Have a great one. Beginning with the Triple Entente, later known as the Allies, they expanded beyond their three-member initial starting.
It's okay.
Edit this out because weakness is family.
I'm leaving it in. No.